Hello and welcome back. And I just finished watching Dragon Ball GT episode 36. But before we get into things, I figured I need to explain a bit about the behind the scenes here. Basically, for the first 36 episodes, I was essentially recording as much as I could. Well, not for the first 36 episodes. For the first 35 episodes, I was recording as much as I could back to back to back. So basically, I would record as many episodes as I could as feasibly possible within a day, which means I'd usually record like five, six, maybe seven episodes a day. And that varied, obviously. But I was basically recording stuff. I was basically watching, then recording, then watching, then recording, just back and forth constantly. For like several days in a row. Well, I mean, it wasn't all I did, but it was like as much as I could fit in regarding like not including everything else I did on those days within my free time. That's what I was doing as much as I could back to back to back to back to back. And it was very sort of draining. And for the past like over a week, I'd say, I have basically taken a break. So, I haven't watched Dragon Ball GT in maybe 12 days, I want to say, a few weeks at least. Maybe it hasn't been that long, but like maybe 2 weeks, maybe less, maybe like a week and a half, I want to say. The point is, for me, it's been a while since I last recorded an episode. Because the first 35 episodes, those were recorded like really close together, like really, really close together within a few days. And so this is the first one that I'm recording like later down the line. So if you notice like a change in attitude or anything, or like maybe maybe I was like really drained at the end of the last episode, and maybe I'm more optimistic with this one. Maybe like if there's any sort of, if you're noticing like a dramatic contrast or anything, then that's why. It's because I basically took a large break in between the last episode and this one. But enough with that, because I did just finish watching Dragon Ball GT episode 36, and I'm gonna get into it. So basically what happens in this episode is that Baby starts out as a great ape, going on a rampage, but then we find out that Baby wasn't actually out of control. He was just testing his powers, but I don't know why he felt the need to like go totally berserk and attack his own people just to test out his powers. It was a really dumb twist. Then Goku and Baby fight, but the fight choreography is really awkward in this episode because like it's like a giant ape fighting this tiny little man. So it's like really awkward fight choreography that's really weird. Like there are a lot of shots where you don't even see Goku's fist or leg make contact with Baby. It's just like, it's really weird, awkward choreography. And Baby's just like killing his own people like left and right. He doesn't care. Yeah, he then he even fires a beam at Earth, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna destroy Earth, but then it doesn't destroy Earth, it just like causes some damage, and I'm like, well, what was the point of that? I don't know. But then Goku fires the giant beam at Baby, but it doesn't do anything to Baby, but like then Baby fires another beam at Earth, but then Goku goes in the way of that beam and he gets like knocked to the ground, and now Baby's gonna fire a beam at Goku, but Goku's on the ground, so it might destroy Plant Safuru. It's like dramatic cliffhanger, and that's basically what happened in this episode. So now I'm gonna give my thoughts. It was an okay-ish episode. As I've said, the fight choreography is really what drags it down for me. GT, I've said it a lot, but I'm saying it again because it pertains to this episode. They just don't have very good fights. They just, there has not been a fight in GT that can rival an average fight in Dragon Ball. Like, not even, I'm not comparing these GT fights to like top tier fights. I'm just talking about like the average run of the mill fight in Dragon Ball. Like, these fights do not compare. They don't. they there's I don't know why they felt the need to frame stuff the way they did, because you can't even see Goku's fist or leg make contact with Baby, and it's really weird. And another thing that's really weird is that Baby's the fight's really inconsistent too. Maybe at one point, I can understand at the beginning of the fight if Baby's having difficulty because he's getting used to the form, but later on in the fight, Goku will be on top and then Baby will be on top, and it's I feel like the people writing haven't decided when Baby transformed, they didn't make a firm decision as to how powerful he would be in comparison to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because at the end of this episode we're meant to believe, oh, he's super powerful, but the way he's the fight went, it's sort of he's not that powerful, but he's kind of more powerful-ish, but it's mostly because of he has all these hostages, and so it's it's not I don't have a good sense of who's stronger and who's weaker, and it doesn't feel I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, okay, well, maybe there's not a dramatic difference, maybe they're more of on an even level, but it doesn't feel like that either. It doesn't feel like they're even. It's very weird. Based on how things were going, I don't have a good idea of who's really the stronger one here, or if I don't think it's meant to convey that they're on the same level, but at the same time, because in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I never had trouble telling who was stronger, who was the underdog, when the opponents were on an even level. I always had a good sense of who could beat who in a fight. You know what I mean? For example, I'm trying to think of a good example of what a typical fight would be. Let's say the Tenkaichi Budokais. I always had a good idea of who was stronger than who, and who was on par with who. When I'm watching Goku versus Jackie Chan, you can tell they're about on an even playing field. It's very difficult to tell who would be stronger. Same, but with this fight. Oh, and here's another example of Goku versus Piccolo Daimao, the rematch at the end of the King Piccolo arc. You can tell that Goku is the stronger one there. You can tell that King Piccolo is the one who's not as strong as Goku, even if they're both much stronger than everyone else there. It's very easy to tell. But here, it's very. I don't want to say it's confusing, but it definitely, it's not as clear with who is stronger, because, the implication at the end of the last episode was that Baby was going to be much stronger now, because he's in a great ape form. But Goku is, depending on the scene, I feel like Goku's the one who's stronger, but I get it's supposed to be a speed versus power thing, but I feel like they could have done a much better job conveying all of this. I just don't feel like they've done as good a job at conveying who's stronger, are they on par, or anything like that as they did in classic Dragon Ball. But I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ramble on about that, so I'm gonna move on. So I don't think Planet Safuru is going to be destroyed in the next episode. I think this is going to go on for another episode or so. Here's what I'm thinking. Oh, I should mention this. At the end of the episode, we get a sort of look at everyone who's on Planet Safuru, of importance at least, and they show Gohan, Goten, and Trunks knocked out. At least I'm assuming they're knocked out and they're not dead. I just wanted to clarify, because last The last time we saw them, I said they had died because like they didn't show any bodies or anything. Like the implication seemed to be that Baby just murdered them. So with like they show their unconscious bodies, so I don't know if they're meant to be like dead or if they're just meant to be unconscious, but I think they're meant to be unconscious. That's what it seemed to indicate to me. But more importantly, moving forward, it was mentioned at the end of the episode that like they noticed that like the Kais, they noticed that or the Grand Kais, or you know what I'm talking about. They noticed that like there was strain around Baby's eyes, and they said that like the Great Ape form is maybe like taking a strain on Baby. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a thing where like maybe Baby can't sustain this form for super long, or you know, like what's going to happen with that. So I'm wondering if this fight's gonna end with Baby not being able to sustain the form and everyone getting the jump on him, which is a shame because I really would have liked maybe a bit more involvement from Vegeta. Like for example, maybe Vegeta could somehow regain control, and then it would be like, and then Goku could like jump in, and like that would leave Baby open. Or like maybe I'm hoping they do something like that because that would involve Vegeta. It wouldn't just be like Goku doing everything, but we'll see what happens. I'm like half invested. It didn't do much to like grab me back in because I just said at the beginning that I was like, you know, not super invested. I mean, I took a break. So now that I'm back, I'm not like, it didn't like pull me back in that much, but at the same time, I'm not hating it, you know. I'm interested to see where stuff goes. It was fine. It was fine. I had my complaints, but it wasn't abysmal or anything. But yeah, I'm interested. I think I'm interested to see when we're gonna begin wrapping things up. Because I feel like this arc has run its course. It was better than the Black Star Dragon Ball arc, but I'm thinking that we might want to wrap it up now. You know what I mean? So yeah, see you. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to check out my other Dragon Ball GT reviews. I'm going through the entire series, watching it through for the very first time. I'm doing episode by episode reviews and thoughts and all that. So feel free to check out the back catalog and, you know, stay tuned for future uploads and all that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you for watching.